Let me ask you something honestly. Have you ever missed an opportunity and only realized its value after it was gone? Maybe you thought you had more time, maybe you wanted a better deal, or maybe you simply hesitated. But by the time you were ready, the opportunity had already passed. Today, I want to tell you the story of a man named Daniel and a diamond that taught a powerful lesson about life. Once upon a time, there was a poor laborer named Daniel who lived in a small village. Every day, Daniel woke up early in the morning and went to work. His job was simple but exhausting. He would dig soil from the ground, load it onto his donkey, and sell the soil in the village to earn a few gold coins. Day after day, week after week, that was Daniel's life. Hard work with very little reward. But one day, something unexpected happened. While digging in the ground, Daniel's shovel suddenly hit something hard. Curious, he knelt down and brushed the dirt away. There, in the soil, was a bright, shining stone. It sparkled beautifully under the sunlight. Daniel picked it up and looked at it closely, but he had no idea what it was. To him, it was just a pretty rock. So he tied the stone around his donkey's neck like a decoration and continued his work. Little did Daniel know that stone would soon change everything. Later that day, as Daniel walked through the village with his donkey, a wealthy merchant noticed the shining stone. The merchant owned a small grocery shop in the village. He stopped Daniel and asked, "Daniel, what is that shining thing around your donkey's neck?" Daniel smiled and replied, "Oh, that? It's just a shiny stone I found while digging in the soil." The merchant looked at the stone again. He liked it, so he said, "If you don't mind, I'll buy it from you for 50 gold coins." Daniel's eyes widened. 50 gold coins for a simple stone. Without thinking twice, Daniel happily sold it. To him, it felt like a lucky day.
The merchant took the stone and hung it on the weighing scale in his shop. Every customer who visited the shop admired the beautiful shining stone. People would often ask about it, and the merchant would proudly say, "I bought it from a laborer in this village." But one day, something interesting happened.
One afternoon, a jeweler entered the merchant's shop. The moment he saw the stone hanging from the scale, his eyes widened in shock. He immediately recognized what it was. It wasn't just a shiny stone. It was a priceless diamond. Trying to stay calm, the jeweler asked the merchant, "Would you be willing to sell this stone?" The merchant replied, "Of course. If you want it, give me 100 gold coins, and it's yours."
But the jeweler was stingy. He said, "I'll give you 80 gold coins." The merchant shook his head. "No, 100 gold coins." The jeweler thought for a moment and said, "All right, I'll come back tomorrow." He believed he could return later and convince the merchant to sell it for 90 coins. But he made one fatal mistake. He waited.
That same evening, another traveler passed through the village. His car broke down near the merchant's shop. When he stepped inside the shop, he immediately noticed the shining diamond. He looked at the merchant and said, "I'll give you 100 gold coins for that stone." The merchant agreed, and the diamond was sold instantly. The next day, the first jeweler returned to the shop. but the diamond was gone. Shocked, he asked the merchant, "Where is the stone?" The merchant calmly replied, "After you left yesterday, another gentleman came and bought it for 100 gold coins." The jeweler was furious. "You fool," he shouted. "That wasn't just a shiny stone. It was a priceless diamond."
The merchant simply laughed and said, "Maybe, but I didn't know it was a priceless diamond. You did, yet you lost it. Over 20 gold coins." And that is the moment the jeweler realized his mistake. He had lost something incredibly valuable, simply because he waited too long. This story teaches us 3 powerful lessons. First, be careful where you are stingy. Saving a little can sometimes cost you a lot. Second, never miss an opportunity. Sometimes we think we are being smart, but we end up losing everything. And third, never delay what needs to be done today. There is an old saying, "Do tomorrow's work today, and today's work now." Because the truth is simple. Opportunity waits for no one.
So tell me in the comments, have you ever missed an opportunity you wish you had taken? And if this story inspired you, make sure you subscribe for more stories that might change the way you see life. Because sometimes, a simple story can teach the greatest lessons.